our third year. We've only had 2 film festivals, and we are rocking it. Give yourself a round of applause for that. Thank you. As with anything, we continue to grow and learn from what we've done in the past. And tonight, I'd like to introduce someone who is new to the film festival this year, who's been partnered with me, working on getting everything taken care of. And tonight, I'd like to introduce you to Susan Garrell, the Senior Manager of the Film Festival. So tonight we're going to keep this as quickly as possible, keep stuff coming your way, and get some great announcements coming out. And with that, we're going to start off by giving everybody an acknowledgement and a heads up on what's coming for 2014. We have some cool events that are going to be coming. You can see here on the screen if you haven't picked up one of the pamphlets already. We have 4 amazing anchor events. We're going to start April 23rd with a Field of Dreams screening, which we'll get into in a little bit. On Thursday night, we've actually added some programming to the weekend. So Thursday night's going to be an opening night where you'll get to meet some of the celebrities and the people that are going to be here and some of the really cool filmmakers. And then on Friday night, we're going to have the Silent Film Showcase at Five Flags. And this year, we're happy to announce we are partnered with the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra, who are going to play the score. On Saturday night, we have our red carpet and award ceremony at Five Flags as well. And then on Sunday, we have a really cool closing party at Stonecliff Winery. And I know Bob and Nan Smith are here, so give them a round of applause for hosting us on Sunday. It takes a lot of effort and support to pull the film festival together. And we want to just call out our title sponsors here real quick. We have a new sponsor this year, Momentum Productions. That is a production company that's been put together by Maria McDonald, who is, of course, a native of Dubuque, Iowa. And she was at the festival last year and was so impressed that she said, you know what, I want to help make this organization get to the next year. And she did. She came on and title sponsor. We also have, of course, Runde Auto Group, who has been tried and true from the beginning. Let's give Tim a round of applause. TH Media, of course, has been a huge supporter in making this happen, gives us great coverage and huge support. Radio Dubuque loves this event. I know Lisa Delaney is here somewhere, and so is Jerry, one of the DJs. So thanks for being here and supporting us. Also, Hotel Julien. This has been the epicenter from the beginning. Let's give this hotel a huge shout out tonight. We've got Tim and Christine Conlon up there who have really stepped forward and sponsored our Silent Film Showcase this year. Thank you, Tim and Christine. And of course, we have our tried and true sponsors, American Trust, the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra, Design Mill, Holiday Inn, and we have some venue sponsors that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. With that, we're going to get on with the program here and get you some information.
These are great for me, so I can be as tall as you.
So this year, from feedback from the last year, we heard that people wanted to become a little bit more involved and maybe be a little bit more exclusive. And so we developed this program called Friends with Benefits. And who doesn't want friends with benefits, right? So you get a couple cool things, like you get to purchase tickets in advance of the festival. So if you want to see some films and make sure they're not sold out, you get to buy them about a week in advance of everybody else. And then we're going to have a special screening the week after the festival just for members of this program. And then you also get listed on our festival magazine and the website. And then we've got some cool other perks.
Right, you get exclusive access to the Filmmaker Lounge, which is here in the Hotel Julien. It's where all our filmmakers and special guests, directors, producers kind of hang out. In the past, that has been open to the public. This year, we're making it exclusive to those Friends with Benefits. And the t-shirt. Sorry.
And that's the most important part, the t-shirt.
We should rehearse more.
So, for instance, tonight, if you had already purchased your membership, you got in free tonight. If you would still like to purchase a membership this evening, we'll take that $10 off your membership tonight to make sure that you're still included in the package. There's just an example. We've got some sheets floating around with the details. We're happy to help you out at ticketing with that.
It's still you.
That's not me, okay. So, we have this other great partner this year called Film Fest Flicks, and some of you may have been to some of the screenings that we've had. We hold them monthly. The cool thing about Film Fest Flicks is they're a new company, and they partnered with cities that have film festivals, and their whole goal is to really support filmmakers. And at the end of the day, that's really what film festivals are about, is giving an opportunity for filmmakers to have their films screened. What these guys do is send these really cool films that don't have actual distribution into cities, and then they find the actors or the producers or the directors that have made those films, and they send those to those cities. So for us, it's a great partnership because once a month, we get to show a really cool film. And then right now we're showing at the National River Museum, their 4D theater. It's a great space. It's $10 a person. And this film is showing tomorrow night. So if you're interested in seeing what this is about, come and check it out tomorrow night for $10. It's really a cool experience. The actor in this film is Jack Plotnick, and we have a tape interview. He was supposed to be here, but he's got actually some work scheduled for tomorrow, so he won't be able to make it. But that's an example of what we're trying to do with this program.
It's a cheap date for your significant other.
Oh, thanks, Susan.
Welcome.
So what does this mean? Anybody got an idea what's happening this year? Field of Dreams! That's my Dubukers. Excellent. So here we've got Field of Dreams coming up. It's the 25th anniversary of this film. How many people in the audience have had something to do with this film? And see, I keep telling people about this and like, really? This is interesting to people? I'm like, it's the coolest thing to do, really. So, Field of Dreams, we're going to do a 25th anniversary screening at the Heritage Center, University of Dubuque. The cool thing about that is the University of Dubuque was actually in the Field of Dreams 25 years ago. Looks a little different, but they were in it. And they've offered the Heritage Center to us, so we're really happy to announce that partnership and the screening tonight. By the way, tickets are available for that screening tonight at our ticket booth. And the cool thing is that 5:30 to 7 we'll have a reception in their foyer. 7 o'clock we'll show the film, and then from about 9 to 10 we're going to have a really cool panel interview.
Yeah, we have some great special guests are coming in. Brian Frankish, who is the executive producer of that project. He's also produced Stuart Little, The Crazies. We have Dwyer Brown coming in. He played the dad in Field of Dreams. Of course, he's been in other films as well, Gettysburg, ER, Red Dragon. And then, of course, we do want to recognize Sue Rydell, who was your location and casting person locally. And I do know when I spoke to Brian, he wanted to really make it clear that he wanted Sue here because she had a lot to do with the whole project in Iowa. So we're proud to have them all part of this event.
So one of the other cool things, of course, if anybody reads any paper in this area, you know that there's some cool stuff going out at All-Star Ballpark Heaven. That's a mouthful. And tonight we've got another little special announcement, and I'm going to invite Lori DeMacas up here, who is working with Denise Stillman at the Field of Dreams for a special event that's coming up in June. Thanks for coming up, Lori.
Thank you, Michael. And All-Star Ballpark Heaven is a total mouthful, and I've told Denise 1,000 times we need to shorten that, give it some sort of nickname. But I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank Michael for having me here. I want to thank Lara and Tony and everyone here at the Hotel Julien who've been fabulous and fantastic to us each and every time we come out here. And most of all, everyone here in Dubuque. You don't know me, but I feel like I know a lot of the people here now, and am beginning to embrace what this movie means from a historical standpoint. And we have some exciting things coming up, and I don't want to reveal too much, but June 13th through the 15th, Father's Day weekend, we're going to be hosting a really incredible weekend commemorating the 25th anniversary of the movie, and some good surprises coming your way. And for a lot of people, this is going to be a really incredible moment that we can all embrace. And the Father's Day part of this movie, what it means to people and everything that it's meant to this community is what we want to bring to you. So if you have any ideas, please bring them to me, and I'll make sure that Michael extends my contact information to everyone. So we look forward to having you all there June 13th through the 15th, Father's Day weekend, and thank you so much.
Now, Lori, this is a review party. Is there anything you could give us a secret on?
No. See, she knows how to handle that. People have been asking us, who's the honorary chair? We're like, we don't know.
We don't.
So one of the other things we want to talk about tonight is, you know, if you've been to the film festival in the last 2 years, our goal is really to have this festival downtown in a really concentrated area on Main Street between 1st and 5th. And we have some amazing venues that have partnered with us for the last 2 years. Part of that, though, means we're going to have a few new venues as we continue to grow. And this year, we'd like to announce the following 3 venues who will be part of our 4-day celebration of film: the Dubuque Museum of Art, the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium, and Stonecliff Winery. Welcome.
And so we know you're probably excited to see at least some sort of trailers, so here you go.
I didn't catch your name.
Johnson, you?
Angel, you're right there. Being part of a gang, most likely way out for your son is a boulder jail. The Army's a real solution to that problem.
He would be eligible for a green card his first day of deployment.
Where you want? Zadn's house in Hispanic. But I'm wearing out that mark. I think that happens only.
You don't know what's best for me. You don't even really know Jasmine. No, let me just talk to you for a minute. What the hell, man?
You look at it, deal with a great house in the punk ass back to El Salvador farm.
Promise they paid me. Did you miss your stop? I don't want to leave trouble, all right? In the van. It was hard. We'll get through, man.
You know, how do films come to our festival, right? How do we make that happen? So the first 2 years, nobody knew who the hell we were, quite frankly. And we got a lot of Dubuque, Iowa, that's cute. See you later. And so we had to work really hard to get films here the last 2 years. But we did such a great job with the filmmakers that attended and the people that came here and covered the festival that word has gotten out about us. And something unprecedented happened in the film festival industry. We were actually announced as one of the 25 coolest film festivals in the nation. That just doesn't happen. It is a combination of things that come together, and one of the coolest things, to reiterate that, is that everybody that comes here has an amazing experience. And it's because of everybody here in this room who welcomes the filmmakers, who shows them around town, who takes them to see the West End, to see the Millburg District, and shows them a great time while they're here. They cannot believe we are so hospitable. So just know that it's working, and if we're going to continue to grow, we need everyone's support to continue doing this. So thank you so much for welcoming our film. The next thing we decided to do this year is to really have a national marketing campaign and to get the word out on the West Coast and the East Coast. I mean, that's where we really need to hit home and let people know that we exist. And if they see our ad in some of the key magazines and some of the trade publications, they kind of feel that we have some validity. So we launched a national marketing campaign. And then, of course, the one thing that always works is money.
We brought it.
So we came together and we decided to really identify what were the key categories that we wanted to award filmmakers for. And we set up a structure and a fund so that we could give away about $32,000 in prizes. It's something that sets us apart with other film festivals. You can be a community festival or a regional festival, and you're only going to have community and regional films. But once you hit the national stage, you've got to be able to deliver something that makes it worthwhile. We've got to have filmmakers choose us over Tribeca, and we do. We've got to have filmmakers that choose us over the San Francisco Film Festival that happens at the same time, and we have. This is the thing that makes us significant in that community and will help us to continue to grow.
And that's true. I mean, going through a lot of the films from our wonderful selection committee, I was so impressed with the projects that have come that, like, for instance, Green Card Warriors with Vivica Fox and Manny Perez, if anybody recognized them, and quality projects and hundreds coming in. It's such a big difference, and it made it really difficult to choose from, but it makes me proud. And I have to say one quick story about a gentleman that called me from Los Angeles and said, you're only in your third year, right? And I said, yeah. He said, is it true you're giving away over $32,000 and you help with travel and accommodations, and you do a refund if we make it as an official selection? I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I'm surprised. You're only 3 years. We thought you were lying. And he said it. So I think that says a lot. People are talking. We have independent and international films from China, Philippines, Sweden, South Korea, South Africa, Iran, France, Spain, Brazil. Thank goodness you have that up there, Tim, so I can know what they were. And I think, to clarify, independent and studio, an independent film could be a budget, could even be $1 million or $2 million or less. But what makes it independent, it's not studio supported. So even Ender's Game, which, you know, we had done a premiere here, it's actually an independent film. It wasn't truly studio supported until later on. So we just find the quality we're getting is amazing. And even though you might look and go, wow, that is Vivica, how's that an independent? It's not distributed and hasn't been hit by a studio yet. So it makes it still an independent film.
So we've got a couple more trailers for you.
I think everybody in the field is biased. One way or another. Whether it was true, it is true. And those are two different things.
Israel. There's a high probability that we're looking here at Joshua's conquest.
I hate to disappoint people, but we have no evidence for a single mass migration of people from one country coming into another country.
There are no archaeological sources that could prove this took place.
We have no evidence.
If people tell you that there was no Jericho at the time that Joshua conquered the promised land, and therefore Joshua is a piece of fiction, and therefore the conquest is a piece of fiction, why don't you ask the simple question, when was Jericho destroyed?
In terms of reconstructing ancient history, a lot hinges on the answers.
Do you think this is Joseph?
Either it is Joseph or it's somebody remarkably the same.
We have tombs that are clearly those of foreigners, Semites. We can tell this by the pottery, by the kind of weapons. These are not Egyptian type daggers. They have donkeys in some cases buried with them. This was not an Egyptian practice.
This is real evidence for the time when the Israelites were in Egypt as slaves.
We were slaves? Why? I mean, if you're going to dream up the story, surely you'd come up with a better one than that.
Look at your evidence and come to a conclusion based on the evidence.
My dad always told me that I'd be able to work here on the farm and we'd make things work, do with what we had.
Everything's getting bigger and it takes less people to run a farm. So if you have a small farm, it only takes 1 or 2 guys to man it.
There isn't a lot here for our graduating seniors or our college kids when they come back into these small communities.
You're like, oh my gosh, I'm never coming back here because there's nothing to do and everybody knows everybody. Everyone knows if someone sneezes.
You know, we were hoping along the way that we could pick up some could, jump into the farming picture with my dad, carry on my dream, I guess you could say.
Some farmers are able to do that, and some aren't able to do that.
What this does then is change the whole fabric of a small town. Because this whole agricultural community is truly a family.
I guess that's the things that I'll miss, watching the sun drop over the hill and whatnot. Feeling good about the day's work that you've done. That doesn't bother me, I guess, because I know that I've got 3 more days of this. Tomorrow will be all business. We'll prepare for the derby, make sure the combine's ready. Saturday afternoon, we'll give it our best like always.
Getting 10 or 12 people on the back, pounding and cutting, and people picking up the machine and changing tires.
It's got all the reinforcements in the right places, and it's won the championship, so we should be good to go.
We got back tape up front, haywire in the back, bubble gum in the middle.
To bring up Dryland, the producer, they're from California, but the producer's husband actually used to work for John Deere. So he's from this area, so I thought that was just a unique thing.
Well, who doesn't want to race and destroy combines?
And paint them blue.
So another cool thing that we've got going on this year, in year 3, is a partnership we are starting to develop with Design Mill. I don't know if you've heard about them yet, but they're a technology company that has recently moved to Dubuque, Iowa, in the Millwork District. And these are guys that are on the cutting edge of technology. And a lot of film festivals have apps. And I'm sure you're all familiar with downloading apps from the internet. And we're working this year with Design Mill to develop an app for us that will really help give an augmented reality to the film festival and give an insight to people who have smartphones. And to tell us a little bit about what Design Mill has in store for the film festival this year, I'm going to hand it over to Ralph Klusman.
Hi everybody. I am proud to say that I'm part of the Design Mill team. I don't know if Nate's over there, you wave your hand, and then Jasmine, we'd like to invite you to come over to our table at the far left corner. We want to invite everybody to see what we're doing to take the storytelling and the connection ability of what a great event the Julien International Film Festival is. So, in this room, how many people have a smartphone? Raise your hand. Pretty good. All right, who actually knows what augmented reality is? Raise your hand. We have a little education curve. So tonight what I'd like to have you do is, if you can't make it over to talk to us, go online tonight and Google the word augmented reality. Wrap your brain around the fact that on top of what you see in front of you, we can layer another whole augmented experience on top of what you're seeing. So in the old days, who's heard of the word QR codes? Raise your hand. Well, you don't need those anymore. We can actually recognize a picture, a printed object, or a building, or a face. We can put it into the library. And your phone, the new phones that are out there, actually have the chip inside there that your camera can interpret what it's seeing and actually trigger an augmented reality experience. So specifically what we're doing for the Julien International Film Festival is we're taking the actual logo of the film festival, and when you put your phone over it, it pops to life, and you'll see the movies that are going to be showing. You can select them, watch the trailers, and if you like what you see, you can go across the bottom and you'll see the Facebook button, or the Twitter button, or the Google Plus button, or the website button, or the phone call, or actually embed the day of the movie and so you can hit the calendar and it'll send it to your calendar and save the date, buy a ticket. And eventually what we'd like to do is keep this collaboration going so that we can increase the ability to get the word out and stream things live. So for example, movie events going on and they're actually running out of seats, they can add an extra showing, and when you have this app in your possession, they can add an extra showing and actually send that information to you live. So these are some of the products that the Design Mill has. We're down in the historic Blue Earth District. We're right directly behind Reynolds Ken Line. And we've got this new product called Insight Point. And you can discover and connect what's actually out there in the augmented reality world. We're one of the Google Glass pioneer companies. We eventually want to embed this into wearable technology so you can put your glasses on and see all the movies appear in bubbles as you walk down the street. And our newest app is called Hub Monkey. It's a great name. We've launched a new mobile app in Galena, Illinois, and our intention is to make sure that we can give you the ability to connect to really great content, have great fun, and then be able to share it. So I invite everybody to come over and we'll take a little time and show you what we've got to offer. But thanks for letting us collaborate with you.
We're really proud to have that sponsorship this year, and I see some of you in the back of the room already downloading the app. It's called Insight. Please do it. Any of the little flyers we have around tonight that has our logo on it, or anywhere you can find our logo, will trigger this once you've downloaded the app. It's free. Don't be afraid. It's very cool. We're just starting to get everything programmed, but it's enough to give you a sample of what we have going on. One of the cool things also that is kind of in conjunction with what they're up to is sponsored screenings this year. You know, we've had a couple people in the last 2 years come to us with films and say, you know what, we'd really like this film to be shown at the festival. You know, we have an organization that is really interested in this topic. And we're like, okay, great, let's talk more about it. So over the last 2 years, we've kind of taken these conversations and really evolved into what is emerging this year as a great opportunity for community organizations to work with us and to make sure that films that they feel a connection to are shown during the film festival. It helps get the word out about ideas, which is what the film festival is about, an exchange of ideas, and gives people an opportunity to talk about them. So we're going to share with you some of the sponsored films real quick that we have going on this year. Red Obsession is a film about red wine. Imagine that. Nobody drinks wine here in Dubuque, right? So we would like to thank Dubuque Food and Wine on the River this year, another new organization, for sponsoring this film. It'll be down at Stonecliff Winery during the weekend of the film festival. Thanks again for that group for taking that film on. Rentec in East Dubuque approached us this year and said, you know what? We're an energy company and nobody knows what the hell we do. I'm like, really? I don't know either. I've seen you on the river, there's a smokestack, but I don't understand what Rentec is either. So they said, you know what? We want to support the community. This is a way we can do that. They brought us this really cool film called Switch. It just talks about energy in general. There's no bias involved. It's very informational. Rentec will be there to support that film. And you'll be able to talk not only about the film, but ask Rentec some questions as well. We're really proud to have this film, Jens Jensen. I don't know if people are familiar. He was an architect, one of Frank Lloyd Wright's contemporaries. And we've got this great film about Jens Jensen, and we're really proud to have Convivium, a new entity here in Dubuque that has been created by Leslie Shalvey and Mike Mensch. Thank you for that, guys. They're all about sustainability and helping to support our community with green living, so thank you for that. We also have this really cool film called Cherokee Word for Water that's been sponsored, can you believe it? The Sisters of Cincinnati Dominicans, Sisters of Charity of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Sisters of St. Francis, Sisters of the Presentation, and Sisters of the Visitation. Thank you, sisters, for this sponsorship.
And the last film was sponsored by the YWCA is Everything is Fine Here. It is about women's rights in Iran. And I do want to mention the Jens Jensen, the Cherokee Word for Water, and Everything is Fine Here are actual in-competition films. So they were selected out of the hundreds that we had, and then we allowed certain people to sponsor if they wanted to. They did pick this film due to the women's rights. So we want to thank them for doing that. We appreciate it.
How many of you folks had an opportunity to see Mike's last voice today? Yes? Cool stuff, right? I'm going to put somebody on the spot here who I did not connect with yet, Sam Mulgrew. I know you're here, Sam. There he is in the back. Hi, Sam. Put his hand up. Sam, if you could come up here, please, for just a second. Sam is really responsible for bringing attention to this gentleman, Mike Zoss. He's got a fascinating story. We're really proud to have him be a part of Iowa and our film festival, and I'm going to let Sam tell you a little bit about his background.
Thank you very much, Mike.
You're welcome.
You're a pain in the ass. Mike Zoss, almost on his wedding day, acquired this ancient trove of films as it was making its way to the dump. He bought it, a couple $1,000, this is like in 1980, and it happens to contain some of the oldest films ever made on this planet. We're talking about 1895, 1896, and he's preserved this collection, and we at Humanities Iowa have digitized it, so we spent some money in taking the nitrate film and transferring it into something that's more durable. And Michael is going to come here and display this collection, which is quite remarkable, very remarkable from a historical perspective. And I encourage you to try to view that presentation because it's pretty interesting. So, it's quite a...
Thank you, Sam. We will have at least 2 screenings of Mike Zoss over the weekend, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Definitely, as Sam said, I encourage you to come out and hear his story. It's absolutely fascinating.
Now we'd like to give you a couple more trailers. We're slowly getting to what most of you are waiting for, so a couple more trailers for you.
Action is alone to sitting optima at pz.in at night.
I don't know, for some reason I thought we were going to be like this much older, crusty documentarian, and we're not.
Girl? Really? You sure you want to put me on a date you're waiting for a girl? Yeah, actually,
You go, Michelle. This is the first time that I brought a boy home, to my home.
It's day 1. After that, I hope you still have something to talk about.
Something that I want to tell you.
I hope I didn't cross the line.
Sometimes I wish I could just press pause and just freeze time.
This is really weird.
How was that?
As far as I can tell, you're just gonna sit around all day waiting for some magical event to occur to make all your dreams come true.
That's correct.
Hi, Dad.
How's your flight?
Oh, it's Christine. So this is your house? Yes. So small.
Yeah, it's boring. Cheers to me now.
My name is, you Puerto Rican?
Puerto Rican?
Yeah, why would you ask me? Hey, you won't make him going. You won't switch.
When was the last time you saw him?
10 years?
What's the truth?
She loves him. Until the day she dies.
38 years old. I live off of my wife. Half the time I wake up and have no idea what I'm doing. Anything will fire me.
What? I have something to tell you. I'm pregnant.
We weren't planning this. We weren't planning, were we?
No.
Alright, look, if you come with me, you gotta stop while insulting crap.
What the fuck do you think I am?
I wish I could go. Just scares you. I know. Shall we go flat? Or cool out? It's a new weather. I don't know.
Just a quick footnote on the film submission process. We really try to be fair to the filmmakers, meaning every film that comes to the festival has to be reviewed. And it's not up to Susan and I to decide if the film is great or not, or if it qualifies. And it's really important for us as a festival and as a community to make sure that that process is valid. And something that we can go back to the filmmaker when they ask us questions about, why wasn't my film accepted into the film festival, or what kind of response did it have? So Susan and I really worked hard this year to come up with a program where we feel that the films that came in were vetted appropriately. And we put a system in place where we had over 50 film reviewers in the community who signed up and agreed to watch film for the last, 4 months, I think. And the goal was to have each film watched between 8 and 10 times, which would give us an average score from the community. So, it's not just about one person's perspective that may see, oh, this is good or bad. We figure if we have enough reviews, it would average out. So the films that you're getting here to the festival for 2014 have been vetted by this community. They have received an amazing range of scores. And Susan has worked really hard over the last couple of months, specifically the last 2 weeks, to really identify which films have risen to the top. Before I go on, there's a couple people that have taken this process to heart, and I just want to call them out tonight because this is the type of volunteer hours and commitment that is exceptional in this community. It is something that makes this community work. And 2 of the people that have spearheaded this process for us have given probably on average maybe 50 hours a week, and I am not exaggerating the number. This is volunteer hours. And I'm going to call out Cindy Byrne right here. Stand up, Cindy. We're going to give a round of applause. And Susie Wright, who is outstanding, and she is in the back of the room. Absolutely outstanding for taking this on. They're responsible for making sure that the films we have in this festival are of the caliber they are. And I know there's somebody else that I'm just going to call out tonight who has probably watched every film and a few more is Jerry Pedraza. And I know you're here somewhere, Jerry. So raise your hand. And I'm serious when he said he's watched every film that has been submitted to us. So thank you for that. Just to recap real quick, we're going back to the schedule of events. We've got some great volunteers from Loras College. They're over there sitting at the ticket booth. Raise your hand, guys. Loras College. Appreciate you guys being here. We're working on a class project to help promote the festival and get people interested in Loras College and other students. So thank you guys for that. Again, we have an amazing set of anchor events for the weekend, and we're going to jump to one of the key events for the weekend, which is our silent film screening, which has been a significant event of the film festival. How many people have been the last 2 years? Cool, right? So this year we are staying with Harold Lloyd because it has been such a favorite. Who hasn't seen that picture of Harold Lloyd on a box somewhere? And we are moving to Five Flags this year. And we've got the Dubuque Symphony Orchestra and Rob tomorrow, the maestro of the Beloit Janesville Symphony Orchestra in the back there. Rob, wave, coming up for a second. There he is. Come on. This gentleman has worked on conducting the silent film for scores for the last 10 years. It is no easy task. I'm going to let him share a few words about that.
Thank you so much. I'm really thrilled to be back for the 3rd year. When I was invited for the first year, I said, here's what's going to happen. The first year, the Opera House is going to be half full because nobody knows what it is. The second year, nobody's going to be able to get a ticket after Thursday. And that's exactly what happened. Because everybody found out about how beautiful it is to be drawn into the world of silent film with a live orchestra playing. If you haven't experienced it, get your ticket now. Thank you so much. Thank you. One of the aspects about this film festival is community partnerships. And from the beginning, we have worked with NISOM, the Northeast Iowa School of Music. And Tracy Rush, for those of you who know her, she's coming up right now. Give her a round of applause. Tracy is somebody who I've come to know as tireless. She doesn't sleep. She goes to school, she teaches, she has a nonprofit, and she goes and does like home projects and does these amazing things, but her heart is always with her students. And she has encouraged students the last 2 years to do original scores for short films provided to us from the film team at Loras College. This year, Tracy decided to evolve the program that she had created for the last 2 years, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about that.
Thank you, Michael. As he said, the last 2 years I've had my students at Eleanor Roosevelt Middle School work on doing scores for the silent films. The students that were so excited about that have now moved on to high school, and I thought, I know they want to keep doing this, so let's open this up. So with thanks to Tim Runde and the Runde Auto Group, we were able to sponsor a 2-part project this year. In the fall, we had Australian composer Sean O'Boyle. He's sort of the Australian version of John Williams. He's won multiple awards, done multiple recordings and films and TV spots, and I happen to know him, long story, but he came to Dubuque and did a 6-hour workshop, and we had 14 students that participated in that, and it was very exciting, and I believe you're going to see the 5-minute, are we going to show that night? The silent film night, you're going to see a synopsis of that workshop. And then the second part was to have our own contest and open it up to anybody, high school and younger. And we had 8 submissions, and we chose, able to work with Craig Schaefer from Loras College, and he was very gracious and helped me choose 3 student films, and we put those up on our website and had students submit, write their own scores. And we had 3 judges, Dr. Thomas Dickey, who you might know as the youth symphony conductor, also teaches at UW-Platteville, Dr. Amy Dunker, who teaches music and composition teacher at Clark University, and my son Tim, Tim Rush, who was a film major in his undergrad, and his first introduction to film was thanks to Ken Resch, who's here tonight. When he was a kid, he went to that UD for Kids and watched movies, and he's actually done some movie critiquing online, and I trust him enough, and I know his, I firmly believe he has great taste and knows what he's talking about. He helped us review the films, and he was really spot on. So out of all the entries, we have a winner, and the winner his score is going to be performed live by the same musicians of the Dubuque Symphony as sort of the warm-up show to the silent film. And it was just amazing. I wasn't one of the judges, but the winners, I really enjoyed this film. You're going to love it. And I would like to introduce you to Michael Banworth. Michael, would you please stand up? He has studied piano 9 years with Bev Nichols, and he plays in the band, in the jazz band. He also plays in the Dubuque Symphony Philharmonia Orchestra. And I want you to know, I do have to do one more shout out. Michael, in his little bio that he submitted to us the other day, he thanked those who were most instrumental, no pun intended, for his love of film, of music and composition. His parents who are with us tonight, his piano teacher, Bev Nichols, and his elementary music teacher, Marion Furr. Hurst, who is here tonight.
Thanks, Tracy. I'm just really proud to acknowledge Tracy Rush one more time. You have no idea the amount of effort this takes. This is countless hours of teaching your students about film scores, film theory, and really understanding what it takes to make this kind of stuff happen. And if anybody here has seen a film that has bad music or bad sound, you know how terrible it is. And when you don't know it, you know it's done really well. Tracy Rush, thank you for taking this on and showcasing the talent. That brings us to award night. Award night. So this is what the last 2 years was Thursday night, our red carpet event. We have moved that to Saturday night to be a little bit more traditional and to add a little suspense over the weekend. So on Saturday night, we will have the award ceremony at Five Flags Theater. It'll be a red carpet event. Preceding that, you will literally walk the red carpet, be interviewed by media, get your outfits together, know who you're wearing. Right, Susan, who are you wearing?
Not what you're wearing.
Should be relevant. So that night, though, we will have an opportunity to bring back Rel Battle. For some of you who may have seen it last year, he's an up-and-coming LA comedian.
Yep, he's working on this show called What's the Funny? Commuters with Marlon Wayans and Damon Wayans. So he's up-and-coming and very, very funny. So you're familiar with her. He made great jokes about Iowa and loves it. So it'll be great.
Great, so with that, we're going to bring you another trailer. And we're just like, what, maybe an hour into our 3-hour program or something?
Yeah, just an hour to 3 hours.
Hang in there, folks, we're almost there. Come on. So let's see a trailer.
We are at Ground Zero at the Search and Rescue Efforts Group building. At 12:30 p.m., she was brutally kidnapped from Laurel Park. It's a Yorkie. So excited. Let's park and post office. It's just really weird to like kidnap my BFF. Maybe I could just stay for dinner.
Abby has a client here.
You guys want to grab a bite of Julien?
Yeah, he's not here on his
You do like a baby. Where's she live?
What's she doing out there?
Don't worry, everything will be fine till we save this week. Joe? Please come on.
So what's wrong? Where's Leila? Oh, Jesus.
Crazy. Kill her.
Hey, jeez.
Don't negotiate with terrorists.
You need real professionals.
Last year we were able to bring in a bunch of special guests who really support the film festival. And we've got a couple other key people that are coming in this year that are part of our film submission process and really raising awareness for our film festival.
Right, so along with that selection committee that we had here, when we bring down the top 3 nominees in each category, we have a jury from kind of in New York and LA actually, that will be reviewing and picking the winner. And our jury is a mix of directors, producers, and some will be here. One is George Pera. George was an assistant director and producer for Terminator 2, The Rock, The Fast and Furious, Sideways, and Silver Linings Playbook. One of their gentlemen is Martin Shear. He was with the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Mexican, Wayne's World. He is a cinematographer and camera operator. And he is also the camera operator for Divergent, which is just coming out, so go see that tomorrow. And Zach Knudsen, actor, producer, writer, Get the Gringo, starring Mel Gibson, co-founder of Chop Shop Entertainment. Those of you that may be huge Kevin Smith fans, this is Kevin's right-hand man and produces and directs with him on almost everything, was even in Clerks 2. So we're proud to have them. We have some other, these are confirmed, and we're very excited to have these guys come and be part of our great process.
And this one,
We're almost there.
so this trailer is some high energy, and I'm going to ask everyone to kind of stay with us in the back of the room there and watch this. And we've got just a few more slides, and then we're going to be to our final
A little
announcement.
sci-fi for you.
For centuries, human race looked to the stars. And one day, the stars in the sky. We humanity, that's what it is.
In our sky, we don't know what it is. We're all sorted by purpose.
You were spread a child with a secret so powerful. Even she would get what's true. Save the girl. And save humanity.
Takes a lot of faith to leave it out.
What's your slide out number?
I am in.
Now we go kill the bad guys. We need a run.
Ransack this bitch.
With pleasure.
Now, find her.
Why are you doing this?
You bring something very powerful to the table.
It's not gonna stop.
The director, producer, they posted that they will be bringing up a tour bus with some of their crew to be here for the festival, so that was kind of cool.
So one of the things that as we evolve and grow with the film festival that we are really proud to announce this evening is a national sponsor. Certainly American Airlines is our debut airline. However, they've actually come on board this year and recognized this event as something that's significant in our community, and they've come on as a national sponsor, our first one. So let's acknowledge American Airlines. Again, this film festival, we can't continue without acknowledging the support of the sponsors that have really stepped forward from the beginning and said, we think you got something cool going on there, but we're going to take a little bit of a risk with you guys. And the fact that everybody here shows up, which is, believe me, as an event planner, the biggest fear that you have, is anybody care, is anybody coming? And tonight you guys showed that you guys care, that you're willing to show up, so give yourselves a round of applause for making this film festival something we can count on year after year.
It's also our JFS and our Friends with Benefits, so any sponsorship and people participating is so important to us, so we appreciate that.
And also tonight, I'm going to just give a couple shout outs. I've got Tim Connery here who's been running the presentation this evening from Dreamcatcher Productions. Thank you, Tim, for putting this together. I'm going to give another shout out tonight to the Hotel Julien.